everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Soft Dump in the Corner podcast presented by North 6 Sports. Today's episode number 47. And we're welcoming back the first of the season, first of the new season, of course. Welcome back, Luke Pendlebury. How was the rest of the summer? Tell the folks that we're well back into it here. Quick little update. We took a little bit of time away, but how's the rest of the summer? How are we looking back into the season going now? You got a house cooking up. You guys are on the move, so you're busy, boy. I see you over there. But you getting
Yeah.
out enjoying that summer weather still. I see you were golfing last week. Where'd you play?
No, I didn't play last week.
It wasn't you last week. Okay. Well, I saw the
No
girl out
golf.
there. I thought maybe you were joining her there, but
Yeah.
we'll forget about that one there. But
Yeah. Yeah.
housework coming along, good stuff on
Yep.
that one there, keeping yourself busy. But we're back. NHL's back,
Yes,
baby.
sir.
Missed you last podcast there, getting just some
Yeah.
of the awards, not rewards, excuse me. So I'll touch base on that too, just so people do have that there, even if it's just quick bit. But
Mhm.
why don't we get right into it? Chat a little bit of news and notes. I know you had a couple things that you were gonna kind of bring up and get going on, so I'll pass the mic over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously super excited. We have the hockey started. It's been maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks we've had in the regular season. Obviously we're going to talk about lots. There's lots going on. Again, these are very early things. Things are going to change. Lots of hockey left to play, but some injuries across the board. Caden Gooley out for 4 to 6 weeks for Montreal. For me, I think it's a big blow because you want to have these guys on the back end. Gooley's been a guy that has found his confidence over the last year or so, I found, and he's getting more, confidence when riding the blue line. He's a very smart player. He moves his feet well. Knows the 200-foot game very well as well. So to see a guy like that go down, it is tough. I know bringing in someone like Noah Dobson has helped, and that will probably give an opportunity for that blue line with Lane Hudson and Noah Dobson to really kind of split that. And it's going to give Montreal an opportunity to continue to win while Gooley is healing up. Hopefully he's back not too long. Shows 4 to 6 weeks, but hopefully it's not as long.
And speaking of opportunity, Gooley goes out, next man up. And you got to think like Arbor
Yep.
Jackeye is going to get a really good opportunity here
Yep.
because he didn't have necessarily, in my opinion, as good of a follow up last season. I think people were maybe expecting him to become a player he wasn't. Like Montreal
Mm-hmm.
Canadiens fans would have loved it, and maybe the whole league probably would have loved nothing more than Jack Guy to turn into a 50, 60 point defenseman. It's just not
Yeah.
who he is. So thrusting into this role now, you pointed out exactly. You don't need to have Jack Eye or other defensemen in that particular case
Mm-hmm.
making those plays and producing points because you brought in a guy like Dobson. Well, don't forget you've got Hudson too. So
Yeah.
losing a guy like Gooley is big because he's a minute muncher, but I also
Mm-hmm.
believe there's opportunity
Yep.
in that. And then saying that, a lot of guys got to step up. You're kind of trying to flex and figure out who wants to play together. What are my pairings going to be? Last year was different. We've got a guy now that's 20 something minute a night guy has a righty now that comes into play. Your top 2 or 3 guys aren't all lefty. So
Yep.
that's an interesting one for them. Big blow because I just feel like there's so much momentum, whether
Yeah.
it's just word of mouth or just strictly from how their season ended. Like Montreal had a lot of momentum. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that doesn't, take away from that season that they had there for sure, right? But
Yeah, and
interesting one on that one
another
too.
thing too, and if you want to look at it on a positive note, obviously an injury is not really positive, but as for the organization and some of these younger players wanting an opportunity to come up, whether it's a forward or a defenseman, when a guy goes out, a player maybe coming from Laval gives that opportunity for that player to come in and maybe make an impact. And one of those players is it's kind of cool. Is a neighbor at the cottage is Owen Beck. I saw him in the lineup last night. He looked all right. I was watching about a period and a half of that hockey game. Obviously, he's still trying to get his feet wet and build that confidence, but it's nice to see someone like that, maybe getting an opportunity in the lineup and get his feet wet in some of these games. Because again, hopefully he's a full-time player, and it'd be nice to kind of swing it at the cottage and chat hockey with him if everything works out.
Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely chat about that too.
Hmm.
Obviously a big, good young piece there. You almost wonder if there's a potential just with the Habs to look to get better now type of deal,
Hmm.
and maybe he gets the
Hmm.
opportunity to go elsewhere and produce in a top six role. So see what happens in that one there too. Would be really neat to see him just succeed as a whole. I'm sure on your sense there, right? Before we get into Leaf talk and stuff here, and to jump through here, a couple other
Hmm.
notes that you were just kind of bringing up there.
Yeah.
I'll let you take away on those ones there, and then I would like
Hmm.
to kind of really get your opinion on that Leafs start here as well too. So,
Yeah.
a couple of things that you were going over there. I think you wanted to just kind of mention a few things on Kopitar and a few other
Yeah.
things around the league.
Yeah, farewell season for Kopitar. The news obviously broke a couple weeks ago that this was going to be his final season in the NHL, and he's going to retire. Um, as a player in his career, one of the best two-way players to ever do it, in my opinion. A great leader, a great player, great person. Sees the ice well, 200 feet. He's won 2 Stanley Cups. He's been in that organization for a long time, and maybe one day you'll see a statue out front. Who knows? It's a possibility.
Definitely
But
a
I
Hall of Famer.
definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, yeah.
But kudos to an absolute amazing career, and looking forward to watching his last season in the NHL, because he's gonna be a player that's gonna be deeply missed. It's almost like Bergeron leaving the NHL. Very similar player. And unfortunately, it's gonna impact that LA Kings lineup next year when you're missing that hole and you're missing that leadership. Um, but again, farewell to a very amazing career from Kopitar.
Completely off topic, but do you remember the farewell tour of Paul Pierce? And do you remember when I
Yeah.
think he was playing with this? I can't remember who he was playing with at the time at the end of his career. And they played the Warriors, and they were going off, and like they were in Golden State, they're
Mhm.
booing them, and Paul Pierce is getting all pissed off. And Draymond Green had an all timer of a line when he was looking around, and Pierce was all pissed, and he's like, they don't love you like that. You don't get that tour. You don't get that love, like type of
Yeah.
thing. Like, as oh
Yeah.
man, I just always think of how like
Draymond.
Draymond Green smack talk was next level. You don't get
Always.
that as much in the NHL. At least we don't get to hear it or see it. They don't get that type of
Yep.
personality thrown around. But like, I would have loved to just hear some of the things, Marchands and like Giroux's and all those like guys of the world that would just say something to him. I mean, you could argue Paul Pierce and Kopitar had similar careers, but I mean, that's a completely wild conversation to have. But I just
Yeah.
always remember that they don't love you like that.
Yeah.
You don't get
Oh
that. They
yeah.
don't love you like that. I thought that was
Yeah, it was
that was
funny.
amazing, amazing. Um,
Mhm.
as well too, I just kind of just jump onto the next
Yeah.
one, or just to go off of Kopitar there. Um, before or I guess Bergeron and Kopitar, I would argue probably similar time to come into the league there, but
Yeah.
for the longest time, and you pointed it out there, just Selke candidates year after year after year. And for the longest time, like me personally, it was kind of like the Kopitar award, or like you thought of a good defensive forward,
Yeah.
you thought of Kopitar. You're like, you got to be like him. Now, obviously, we know it as Barkov, of course, and quite
Yeah.
a few other players, significantly, solid defensive players. But, Barkov's out this year and Kopitar's kind of gone. Like, maybe that's something that we look into next conversation, because I didn't come prepared to even ask this question, but maybe who might be some of those players that are going to be jumping into Selke candidate now moving forward too. So kudos to Kopitar, excuse me. Amazing career. Obviously some of the big players like Kopitar, Doughty, and Jonathan Quick are still playing in the show.
Which
That's
is unreal.
amazing to think about,
Yeah.
man. All three guys, future Hall of Famers, in my opinion, no doubt.
Yep.
So just good to see, but hopefully the Oil play them in the first round again, because we need something going for us there. You want to chat
Yep.
on Carter Hart?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is going to
Is it
spark
ever?
a lot of controversy, but I mean, there's obviously going to be two sides to everything. And the news obviously broke out that Vegas did sign Carter Hart to a deal. As we know, he's one of those 5 players from the Team Canada and the whole sexual assault case that happened back in 2018. Yes, they were found not guilty on their charges, and they were welcomed back in the NHL. after discussion. I don't know when they can exactly play. I think it might be December 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, was it first or 15th?
Yeah, it was one or fifth. Yeah, one of those. But I'm not gonna get too into it.
Sure.
Obviously, it's gonna really kind of spark some people, some rage. But I mean, if you're admitted and not guilty from the judge in the courthouse, I think you're clear in my books. It's a hard one to really say. I mean, there's a lot of like the act of it happening, sure, but I don't know. It's a touchy subject altogether, really.
Yeah, and we're obviously not politicians and we're not
Yeah,
lawyers, so we can kind of say what we want to say, right?
yeah,
I'll just give you my 2 cents on it. Like
sure.
from a strict hockey move, like
Yep,
Vegas just
yep,
continues to show that they
yep.
don't give a shit. They will do anything and
Mhm,
everything
yeah,
to win.
yep.
And good for them, man. George McPhee is just like, you know what? If I win 3 cups, because he's won 2 cups, because McPhee won with Washington and he won
Oh
with
yeah,
Vegas,
yep.
right? So he's
That's
won
fair.
2 cups, man. Like he knows how to build winning teams.
Yep.
Obviously he's had elite talent with Ovechkin and Carlson and
Hmm.
call it Holtby at the time. Arguably, Holtby was
Oh,
absolutely an elite goaltender.
absolutely,
And
he
now
was.
you look what he's got over in Vegas. I mean, you got Eichel right now, who he's
Woo!
white hot. He ain't even hot. He is white hot. That guy's averaging like 2 points a game easy.
Yeah, he's playing
I
well.
think the addition of Marner's helped there. But just to kind of stay on that, I mean, they've had such a good team. And like I said, McPhee, in my opinion, I don't think he cares at all about what people say now, because in 10 years, when he's sitting there like, I got 2 cups, maybe three,
Maybe
um,
three.
one more. No one's gonna no one's gonna sit there and be like, oh, but he was the one that signed Carter Hart. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it doesn't
Yeah.
work out, it's a 1 year deal and he goes, no problem. But
Hmm.
boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be controversial if Carter Hart comes out? Can you imagine he just has incredible year, Vesna candidate?
Oh man.
The Oilers are like, yeah, we want Stuart Skinner. Point being,
uh,
man, I love the balls on the Knights to do that. The league's they're just giving the league more and more reason every single day to hate them. But I mean, like,
yeah.
someone's got to be the villain, and Vegas plays that role extremely well. So do I
Yeah.
like it? I think from a hockey perspective,
Sure.
really good signing. I mean,
Hmm.
if he can come back, he played behind a pretty poor Philadelphia team. He's going to get a significant, increase
In help.
defensive support, for lack of a better term. And
Yeah.
we don't know what happened behind the door. We don't know if he
No.
did anything, said anything. Maybe he was just there, wrong place at the wrong time. I
Hmm.
don't care enough to have an opinion on that, because strictly, I just don't think it's, I just don't like it personally.
Hmm.
I think that this is more than likely just a see what you've got left. And if he doesn't do much here, it's probably KHL bound next year or something like
Yeah.
that with the rest of them, which sucks, but decisions were made, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of my opinion on it. Vegas just continuing to show they don't give a shit. It is all
Yeah.
in every single year. We'll deal with the repercussions down the road.
Hmm.
So that was kind of just my 2 cents on that particular one there. Is there anything else on Vegas as a whole, or on the Hart thing as a whole? He's the only one of the five that's been really offered. I think Formanson's already signing the K.
Yeah. The other
Um,
ones I think are waiting. I wouldn't be surprised if Dubé finds his way in the NHL. He was still a gritty player that still could give it.
yeah,
Michael
yeah.
McLeod, I don't know. I feel
Don't
like he
think
was the
so.
leader of the
I
whole
think
thing.
I think his
Yeah.
name got tarnished pretty good, and
Yeah.
he obviously, only from what you can see and hear on the news there, it sounded like maybe he had a little bit more to do with it than most.
Yeah.
But again, we're not lawyers, politicians. I don't
No.
care enough to get into the nitty gritties of like what happens on the paper side of things, but very interesting to say the least that they were doing that and give him the chance. So, you
Hmm.
know, hopefully it works out for them. I don't know what else to say on that particular one, but definitely a little bit surprising for sure.
Yeah. 100%.
moving into, why don't we jump into, I do want to get into Leafs talk here
Yeah.
just because I
Yeah.
think it's kind of, they're one of those teams this year. I think if there's no getting away from the storylines. Obviously the Marner thing will not go away, no matter what you do. But I think as of right now, we're recording this on the 19th here. Leafs are off to a 3-2-1 start. Matthews, let's start with him here. So Matthews got 4 goals on the year through 6 games. Through 6 games, yeah,
Yep.
math. And you would think like, hey, you know what? He must be looking good. He's dominating. He's on pace for, oh fuck, I should have done the math, but he's on pace for like 50, 60 goals again. Like realistically, what have you thought of him?
Hmm.
And I'll kind of speak on what I'm seeing, but I just kind of, what are you seeing out of strictly Matthews? How he's kind of, taken over that team now. He's captain, and that's his team. He's
Hmm.
the go-to. Like there's all, signs are pointing at him to be the guy that needs to perform. So,
Yeah.
what's your take on just specifically Matthews? Is
Hmm.
there anybody else that's kind of shocked you, surprised you? Some of the rookies in the lineup. Cowan's getting some games here.
Yeah.
A couple 2 cents on where you're at with
Yeah.
the Leafs there.
Yeah. I think Matthews, again, a lot of people got to realize once that C is printed in your jersey, like there's more responsibility than just on the ice. And I think last year, I get there was the injury issues that he had and he was dealing with throughout the season, but there's also a lot of off ice commitment that he has to do and as being the Maple Leafs captain.
No more
And
rubbing tugs in Germany.
maybe.
Maybe.
So yeah, you definitely see a dip in his goal production, and mostly that's probably from injury. But second year as captain, understanding kind of the responsibilities and what it takes to run that locker room. Last year was the furthest they've gotten in a while in terms of getting to that game 7 mark against Florida. But at the end of the day, Matthews hasn't jumped out to me as of yet. Yes, we're 6 games in. I'm not going to criticize the guy. He still has his 4 goals. The over 500 record. I don't think there's any reason to hit the panic button at all. But I think having like Marner gone from that line is going to take a big hit on his production. Marner is a very smart IQ player that can find Matthews in the slot with his eyes behind his back. So he's got to have to now find that partner to be able to do that for him. Not saying he can get his goals on his own, but Marner definitely helped with that. He's one of the best wingers in the NHL.
Yeah,
If
of
you hate to
course.
say it, it's true.
Mhm.
Easton Cowan is now kind of getting his feet wet in the lineup. Um, he's starting to kind of figure it out a little bit. Obviously, for what he is, the expectations are very high. Obviously, just because he's a top end prospect for the biggest hockey market in the NHL. So with him and then Nye's taking another step, I think Matthews' focus right now is even if he scores 40, let's call it 40 to 50 goals, and they're successful in the playoffs. I don't think he really cares where his goal totals are, but as long as he can play that 200-foot game and lead his team, that's all fans are going to care about, honestly. It's all about win, 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 and we know that window is only getting smaller at this time, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it really well. I truly do believe this year, I agree. I think he needs to have that mindset of win first, score second.
Yep.
Because he's so good, he will score. I know it kind of sounds silly, but he does need to emphasize, being a leader as well too, and making sure that he's doing it. He can't just be in there, oh guys, we got to be doing this, doing that. And if you're not
Yep.
shot blocking, if you're not putting in that effort to get that back check, if you're not tying guys up in front of the net, you're not, whatever, the list goes on, the small nuances that make um a good hockey player great, and a great hockey player, successful to a playoff level too, right? And so a couple of things to me, at least, I've really still believe that they need to learn how to win more 1 goal games. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen them in it and already this season, where they're in those games late, and they haven't maybe shown that they're the better team to get the final push. Most recently, the other night was Seattle. Seattle came into their building and just pushed them around. It's
I
like
know.
that can't be happening. It really can't. I
Yeah.
truly believe they should have not only won that game, but I just didn't see an edge. And then you kind
No.
of saw what happened with Stolarz, right? So
Oh yeah.
Stolarz gets
I was,
run by Marchment. Don't get me wrong. Like
and they're all
I
just
think
standing there, man.
I think Marchment. So what happened, in my opinion, you
Yeah.
see Marchment going in, he takes the back and he comes in. I truly believe he thought he was going to get contact. So he leaned into the contact. And when he did and did not get the contact, he was already way too late to get out of the
Oh yeah.
way. And you can't. But that is 100% goaltender interference.
One
Please, people
hundred
listening, don't
percent.
think I'm saying it wasn't goalie interference. It certainly is.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was 1,000% intentional to create the impact or create
Hmm.
the hit, so to speak. But he certainly didn't care that he went in after that. But my point being is, why is your goalie showing the most anger, throwing the net
No.
off of you? I
Yeah.
love that, by the way.
Oh
I
yeah. That was
freaking love
unreal.
that.
I thought that
Just
net was going in
Don
the first
Cherry on
row, man.
sock 'em hockey, baby. And that's what you need, man. And
I
then
know.
he doubled up too. Stolarz doubled up and got pissed off after the game and said,
Called those guys
like,
out.
what the fuck,
Yeah.
guys? Like, I
Yeah.
literally just got run and not
Mm.
one person did anything.
And Carlos standing right there, and I'm like, dude, fucking grab the guy. What are you doing?
But that, and again, point being, if Brandon Carlo has to be your tough guy,
Yeah.
eh, right?
He
And you
was the
don't
first
have
one on the
Revo
scene.
there.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
you had Revo any other year that he
Re,
was here. He only played 40 games a year if he did, and the last couple of years was not effective. But that's my point. Like, they need to learn how to get rid of those bad habits in the regular season because they lead to the playoff blunders.
mm-hmm.
It's habitual, man. That shit just constantly happens. Like, once you get into that flow and sometimes you start making those bad mistakes, things happen so much quicker in the playoffs specifically. But that's a long time away. But I'm just like I'm saying, they really need to learn how to win more 1-goal games. Stolarz
Yeah.
has proven that he can win 2-1 games. That guy
Yep.
can let in 1-2 goals a game, go on a very strong stretch. We've seen that. I'll even admit that guy's nails and net. But when you get him peppered and you get, people in his face, in his grill, he don't like that. He's a
Especially.
fiery guy, and it's easy,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I think it is easier than some goalies to get off his game. If he's
Especially with.
on and if he's on,
Yeah.
he's great. He really is. But if you get in his kitchen, you start
Yeah.
hitting him, you start ripping shots up by his shoulders and in his ears.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes that. I don't think he likes that.
No.
And it takes a special kind of breed, A, to play goalie, but
Yeah.
B, to be able to knock that kind of stuff off and just kind of brush it away, right? Um,
Yeah.
I just wanted a super quick chat about my opinion on what I've seen from Matthews in the first four
Yeah.
or first six, excuse me,
Yeah.
specifically just from his production in the offensive zone. I think he's looked really good defensively this year.
Yep.
His stick is really doing. It's covering a lot of ground. Is kind of what I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
get at. So when looking at when he's playing, I feel like he's buying into the system a little bit more. He's not cheating offensively as much. He's covering and making sure there's puck support on the proper side of the ice, and he still wins battles because he's strong, man. Matthews is a
Mm-hmm.
strong kid.
Yeah.
But just really good. He gets his sticks and lanes, can lift your stick and steal the puck like no tomorrow. Even just battling when the puck gets wrapped around in the offensive zone. I love the way Matthews takes his angles. He really is smart at angling the defenseman to make the play more difficult, whether it's getting in the lane of the breakout pass, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
chopping off the cut to the net so the D-man can't cut hard. There's simple things that he just does that just go unnoticed. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm giving him his flowers on that side of things.
Yeah. 100%.
He's got 4 goals. You would normally think, boy, what a start for Matthews. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Empty netter for the first one. I don't
Sure.
care. That's fine. Empty
Whatever.
netters are fine. What I would be a little bit more concerned with is he's not getting as many shots, at least from what I'm seeing. And I didn't go
Mm-hmm.
back and rewatch it maybe as much as I could, but he's not getting the shots and the high quality danger chances off like he has normally I don't want to just revert to Marner, but I'm just simply saying, forget the whole Marner thing. From what I've seen this year, his 4 goals, I don't think have come from combined 10 feet out of the
Yeah.
net.
Yeah.
Like all 4 of his goals, he scored from like 6 feet or less.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of sitting here thinking, what is the one thing I always preach with Matthews is he never scores goals from in close, right? So I'm kind of like, well, it's a good thing he's getting them, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, what's not a good thing is he's not seeing as much open space ice, and he's not getting that little extra split second of time to be able to release that signature Matthews shot.
Yeah.
So they're going to need to figure out ways on the power play specifically, because that's where you always have more space.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they're going to need to figure out ways to sort of get him the puck in space better. As obviously he's the number one guy defensively they want to match up with, right? So,
Yeah.
um, just to say, like I said, like he's been playing really solid defensively for the first time I think that I've really seen in quite some time. He's looked like the best player on the ice, probably 2 or 3 games easily. Um, Got to get him some space. Got to get him some space.
100%.
Marner was so good at that because of just the way he could pass the puck. The way that Nyes and whomever, I guess, if you want to say, are going to have to play with him is he might have to, get into tight corners, and he might have to score 20, 30 goals from in front of the net, get into the dirty areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on Matthews particularly?
No, nothing for me. Obviously there's lots of hockey left, and hopefully he can get back to his form of ripping the puck from every angle possible. But we'll
And
see. We'll see what happens.
speaking of getting back into form, I also too just wanted to give another shout out. Morgan Riley looks good this start of
Woo!
the season.
Yes.
Apparently went and lost some weight. Does that always equate to better production? No. Um, but I do just think even just a couple LBs less, not breathing as heavy. I'm not asking you to be Scott Niedermayer, play 30 minutes a night and have your
Yeah.
hair dry. But you know what I mean, man? Like he's
Yeah.
skating well right now. And I think he's always skated well. Don't get me wrong. But I just think for right now, like especially where he's at, I think he still gets lined up against a lot of the top guys.
Yeah.
But just I think right now, when you look at him right now on the blue line, especially too, his side to side movement is really strong. And I think he's been a really smart offensive player. But even that goal he scored the other night where he jumped up in the rush and ripped it short side cheese. When
Mm-hmm.
was the last time you saw him really feel that
Yeah.
flow? Like he'll do it every now and then. He'll score
Mm-hmm.
his 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many goals a year, but it just looks like he's already got 2, I think, right now in the seasons
Yeah.
to start. He scored in the first game, and I believe he scored against Seattle. Could be wrong. But point being is he's getting himself into opportunities and really good scoring chances,
Yeah.
and he's finishing, right? So just wanted to say kudos to those two. I know
Yeah.
I don't sit here and come on and say more good things about the Leafs more often than not than I do than bad. But I'm pretty non-biased when it comes to this shit, man. If I see something I like, I'll say it. And I just wanted to say realistically, I think Morgan Riley is if he has this type of season, it's gonna make it a lot easier for the rest of the team. Just getting the puck out of your zone is so big, and that's something he does really well.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
he's got a pep in his step. Like I do notice that, like right
yeah,
off
like
the
I still
hop. Like
got it.
it's a
Like, what are you
confidence
guys
booster.
talking about? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So it's nice.
I agree. I agree. And even to like Cowan as a whole getting his look, just 2 cents on that one too.
Hmm.
Looks like a player that is so scared to make a mistake. Like he looks like if and like your
Yeah.
dad's mad and you're like, I don't want to go talk to my dad right now because he's mad. Like I feel like if he turns around and looks at Berube, he's just like, I'm a 20-year-old kid and I'm fucking scared of my head coach. Like that's the way it kind of looks right
Yeah.
now, in the sense of he's not trying what you would normally try in junior, and you can't. You have to learn to
Hell no.
adapt. I'm just curious as to what what's gonna click, or when will it click that your confidence is back, or
Yeah.
something's happened, because he's gotten what, 3 apples, I think, all secondaries, or I think.
Yeah, he's
So
got a
you're
few
on the score
points.
sheet,
Yep.
you're doing something,
Yep.
but
Yep.
it just doesn't look like he's comfortable with the puck right
Yeah.
now. And if that's going to be the case, you can't have that because you got 4 or 5 guys that want the puck all the time with the Leafs. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how that goes. But yeah, like I said, not a terrible start by them on that standard. But boy, oh boy, their depth don't look good this year.
Nope.
They
Quiet.
they don't have. I'm not crazy about the Fits very early, but
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
think they're going to need a little bit of work at the deadline, and that might come even harder this year now that they've implied that LTIR in the playoffs and everything there. So,
Yeah, look, Mark Stone's playing. How convenient.
yeah, right now he's tearing it up too. I think
Yeah,
he's
I
got like
know.
13 or 14 points as
Some
well early.
someone in our new market chat's like, "Why is Mark Stone playing so well?" I'm like, "Well, he's had so much fucking rest the last
He's
3 years."
yeah, literally, right? Not to mention too, I mean, they've got a hell of a top 6 there,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So, but yeah, and just last thing, man, like I just wanted to say, like just the Leafs window to win right now is probably as wide open as it's been in years.
Mm-hmm.
That Eastern Conference, like who can
Mm-hmm.
you really say right now is the absolute favorite? You can probably say Florida. Sure, that's a safe answer.
Yeah,
They
missing
started out
two of their
okay,
best
and I think they're
players.
back
Yeah,
down to 3-3 or something like that too. So, Carolina might be the one that scares you at the top. I think they're 5-0. Detroit after today beat the Oilers. They're 5-1.
I put
Right?
money on
Like
the oil. Like, what the fuck,
it's
man?
interesting. I mean, Bouchard looks brutal right now. Holy
Oh,
smokes.
buddy,
I don't know what happened over the summer, but
playing with the
I don't think he
wrong-handed stick.
focused much on hockey. That's for sure. That back-to-back cup run hasn't helped Bouchard very much right now. And I'm just starting to think like if he had such a hell of a year at the same time Darnell Nurse had his hell of a year, oh boy, those two could have probably picked the best 2 years of their life to play all-star hockey to make the money that they did. So I really hope Bouchard turns it around
Yeah,
sometime
holy
soon here.
shit.
But yeah, just to say on Florida, I mean, I think they started out was it 3-0 and 3-1? They're 3-4 now. So I mean, like they had a hot start. Probably
Yeah,
the
they got
forget it. We're the underdogs now. No Barkov. They're gonna write us off. But I don't
Buffalo
know. That was
blanked
my
them,
hot
man.
take in the last episode. If you did catch that, is I picked Florida to sneak in as a wild card team.
Hmm.
I said they're gonna finish as the second wild card team. So we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see what
well,
happens there. But
apparently Tampa's gonna win the McKenna fucking draft lottery. Holy fuck, they can't even
yeah,
buy a win,
you want
dude.
to get in? Let's get into surprises and disappointments because
Oh,
that was one of my disappointments.
it's fucking
Was
heavy,
Tampa
man.
Bay's start?
Holy fuck me.
Something I don't know. Like they don't scare me as much to be honest, because like I just something about that team with Cooper and Kucherov. I mean, Kucherov's one of those guys where he's just like, sometimes he just wants to fuck off and not look like he cares, and then he'll go on and put 14 points in 3 games. Like it just he'll
And
do
win the
that
heart.
this year. Like it's coming.
Yeah.
Everybody listening, it's coming. Tampa's gonna go on a tear. Kucherov and Point and Gensel are gonna combine for 50 points in 10 games. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy right now. But that actually kind of ties in as well. And maybe I can kind of quickly peek at this and or let you go off of this. But
Mm-hmm.
just disappointments as a whole, like goaltending league wide. Like, is it diminishing? Are they just getting too much work in the off season? Or are they just getting critical with all of their fundamentals and mechanics to a point where these goalies can't even just play hockey? They
Yeah.
can't just worry about the one fucking thing that they're supposed to do and stop the puck because they're sitting there like, oh, if my T stop isn't right and my angle isn't right here and this and that and my triangle down here is there's thinking I'm listening to some of these
Yeah.
guys talk about like
It's like
when they're hockey
overthinking,
coaches and
man.
their goalie coaches and some of the things specifically that they're talking about. I didn't play at an NHL level. I don't coach at an NHL level, but I have played goalie. So that is one thing I fucking know that I can tell you right then and there. Confidence is a motherfucker for a goaltender because you have so much pressure on you to not let in a mistake or to not do this, not do that. So just to look at that, I think Vasilevsky, full circle conversation about Tampa. Vasilevsky, in my opinion, it will turn it around because he's just too good not to. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just weird seeing some of that weird ebbs and flows right now with some of the goaltending in this league. Like it is not as good as it was. I don't know if we're just in a unique era where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, like sorry about your luck, but the 2010 through 2030 type of kind of 2020s, if you will. Don't know why I said 2010. The 2020s of goaltending, just god awful, straight booty cheeks.
Booties.
Um, led to you by Stuart Skinner that takes you to a cup final in back-to-back years with basically a fucking 890 save percentage. Like,
How
what are we
about
doing?
Nedeljkovic in San Jose? Like,
Oh, that first game, boy, I tell you. He
oh
must have
my
had money
god.
line on the other team because those two blunders there. But that's my point exactly. Maybe one of the only goalies, elite goalies in the league that's really performing the way he should is Shesterkin, and he's
Yeah,
like 1-4 because the Rangers stink.
the Rangers blow.
He's
Yeah,
got like a 942 save percentage or something like
they
that,
lose
and
like
one
fucking
win.
1-0.
Yeah, like the Rangers didn't score for 3.5 games.
That's
You
nuts.
can't win. You can't win like that. So that's kind of one of my disappointments there. What's another one of your disappointments there before we go into some good stuff, some surprises?
Minis had a slow start. Minnesota.
Did notice that they're scoring though.
They're
They're scoring though.
scoring.
I
They're
mean,
scoring
Kaprizov and
lots.
Boldy both got 9 points
I have.
already on the
I have
season.
them. I
They
have
both
in
have four.
fantasy. I
Yeah,
have.
they both have four
Yeah.
goals already each. I mean, they're not bad. That Ziev Buum kid, I don't know how to pronounce it, but pardon me, Buum or something like
Yep.
that. He's nasty. He's already taken over Brock Faber's role on the power play.
Yeah,
They've
which is
got two young
crazy.
righties that are nasty. But they
If
just
we-
can't make a save. Philip Gustafson's having a
Yeah.
rough start, but that'll
Yeah.
turn around. That'll turn around. I think they're
Um,
too good, man, in my opinion.
if we're talking about young defensemen, Matthew Schaefer looks unreal. That
Very
kid
good,
can
man. Point per
skate.
game, playing 24 minutes a
Wow.
night. Like,
18 years old.
just ridiculous, man. He does look good. And you know what, too, though? Like, I think you got to be careful with it, too.
Yep.
Um, I just really believe strongly in what he can do, I guess. I just kind of only been able to watch a couple games of him there, but
Yeah.
he is, in my opinion, I think he can skate, but I just think he has the it factor. There's just something
Mhm.
about when you look, like a couple guys that you can kind of be like, okay, like he's nasty, but if he gives up a turnover, how hard is he skating back to get that puck?
That
How
one play in
hard is he?
preseason, he
I
was
saw that
wheeling.
back check, right? That back
Yeah.
check. And that's what I'm trying to say, right? It's like
Like, yeah.
when you get guys like that are like, I don't
Mhm.
care what you do.
Yep.
The one thing I can guarantee that I will do is outwork you. And that's just one of those guys. Like to me, he's just a worker, a workhorse, excuse me. I just and he's got the size.
Mhm.
Just wait till he gets the strength, obviously. Because I think that's gonna come next after a full year of proper training, proper, eating, growing up. Like you said, he's what,
Yeah.
18 years old. Like,
18.
you
Holy
know what I mean?
Christ.
That kid can't even buy liquor in Montreal. So like, or I guess he would have just been able to get in Montreal. But
Ontario. None.
point being, like, yeah, I agree there.
Yeah.
Just another disappointment here. I mean, this is gonna sound like a weird one, but McDavid not being more selfish to me is a very disappointment. Is a big disappointment.
Mhm.
When he comes out and he's like, you know what, like I had my 100 assists and whatever, this and that, but he's like, I want to shoot more. I love scoring goals. I love scoring goals. He is one of the most frustrating hockey players to watch sometimes because he'll get himself into just a grade A opportunity
And then
and
pass it.
it's like pass it 7 feet over to Darnell Nurse or something like that. And it'll go through his
Yeah.
skates. Darnell Nurse will be like, fucking trying to do it. He can't. And I just don't understand. Like, throw the puck on net. I don't care. Like, just start shooting. He's
Yeah.
scored a lot of goals in his career and he's proven he can shoot to score. Problem or the thing with McDavid is he can make those plays and he does make them more often than not.
Mhm.
And it's just one of those things where I watch the games and you can see the flows and momentum and just like you go up and down the ice and things happen, whatever. But there's just certain times where I want him to get on the board and it just makes a statement, but just start ripping because then
Yeah.
it just changes the way they play defense on you. A lot of these guys are like, he ain't shooting the puck. Like it's not going to happen. It was like Marner back in the day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you could be on a 4-on-1 and you
He's
could
gonna.
let Marner go on his own, just cover the other 4 guys, and you'd probably get the pass intercepted. Like,
I
he's
know.
just not going to shoot.
Predictable.
Um, I want to see that fucking guy shoot more, man. It's
He,
just
yeah, he
ridiculous that he
will.
doesn't. Even if it just causes rebounds, go for it. But yeah, that's an interesting one for me there. You got any other disappointments in particular that you want to bring up? I
Um,
wanted to go off on Buffalo, but though that franchise has already had
they're
enough.
already beaten.
They
They're already
don't need
dead. You're beating
anything
them while they're
else.
dead.
See ya, Alex Tuck. This summer, see ya, Tage Thompson. Then Dalene's gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Why the hell am I gonna stay? I want
Hmm.
out too." I
Yeah.
don't
It's
like
gonna
it.
be a
That's
dumpster
just
fire.
it's a tough goal
Um.
there. Let's do a couple surprises.
Okay.
I'll lead us off here. This is a good one. I want to give a special shout out. Shane Pinto,
Yeah.
7 goals in the
Parlay.
first 6 games, man.
Maybe he bet on himself.
Like, incredible start there. Really like what I'm seeing out of that. Not the guy from Ottawa that you would just be like, hey, I think you're the one that's going to break out. Stutzla, sure, you'd expect that. Kachuk, yeah, sure, you'd expect him to put up a point per game, and
Yep.
maybe not. He's not going to be maybe 100-point player, but you would expect Kachuk to do well. Of course, he just went out for
Yeah. Poor
probably
guy.
6 weeks with a thumb injury. He's going to need surgery. But Pinto, man, just single-handedly putting the team on the back, or it seems, right? Cousins hasn't taken that step. Stutzla doesn't look like he's, um, uh, performing to where he should be, and whatnot. But Giroux kind of no one anymore now.
Nah, he's
Unfortunately, it
on his
seems.
last
But
few
a
holes.
special shout out, Pinto 7-6. That's a great start for him there.
I bet he locks up a contract this year at some point.
You would think so. You would
I
think
think it
so, right?
will.
I mean,
Just a little
they've
stamp
got a
of
really
approval
good
there.
forward group all around.
Yep.
Get some solid pieces there, but that was a good surprise for me to start, to say the least. What do you got?
I got Pitt 4-2 to start the year. I don't think anyone really expected them to do well, and thought maybe they'd be a bottom team. Again, we're 6 games in. Don't want to get too over ourselves, but they look all right. Malkin's playing very well. Sid's playing like Sid. Tanger's not even playing that bad, both sides of the ice. So it's good to see the trio for their 20th straight year together is crazy.
Yeah.
But again, just didn't expect Pitt maybe to be over 500, but we'll see how the season goes. But
So ironically, just it's perfect to flow off on that. That was my second one. The veterans turning back the clock. Gino 9 points, Sid 7
yes,
points, Tavares 7 points.
JT.
How about JT too? Right,
Mm-hmm.
one of 4 players to ever score 500 points
500
with
on
2
two teams.
franchises.
That's crazy.
Pretty
That's
damn cool.
unreal.
And
Yep.
did you check the status of who he's in there with?
No.
Some guy named Wayne,
Wayne
some
Glenski?
guy named Moose Messier, and I think, was it Ron Francis? Was he the other guy?
That would make sense.
I think.
Him or
I can't. Maybe
who
I'm
else
wrong
would have
on
been up
that.
there?
I can't remember that. But pardon me. But either way, man, one of 4 to ever do that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's incredible.
but don't forget, back in the day, man, guys didn't leave to go to other teams.
Nope.
They signed and they stayed. They stayed, right? So now with player movement, especially with the cap, they're going everywhere. They're doing everything. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, especially
Mhm.
too, it certainly seems that guys are certainly playing a lot longer than they have too, right? Because if they're good enough to keep, and I think these
Mhm.
teams are knowing, like, it's not always the rookie contracts that are helping us out doing, with the points and stuff too,
Mhm.
right? So I'm interested to see, but really cool to say the least that, Tavares was able to do that with 2 franchises. A lot of guys leave after scoring 500 points and they score 500 more in the NHL with 4 or 5 different teams, but to do it with 2 is really neat. But like I said, man, Malkin and Crosby, pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
16 points in the first, I don't know, what did you say? They were 4,
Six
2, and
six
1.
games.
Yeah,
6.
like, so 6 games there.
Unreal.
I mean, they've got all those points racking up. I wouldn't be shocked if Malkin, at least Malkin, is saying, "This is my show you year. I'm gonna be pressing as hard as I can and go balls to the wall here for you,
Mhm.
Kyle Dubas, so that you can maximize my return."
Yep.
I do believe. I do believe. So kudos to them. If they don't, I don't know. We'll see. But I wouldn't be shocked if one of the 3 are traded this
Yeah.
season. You can't let all 3 of them just simply retire for nothing, or your rebuild doesn't happen.
Yeah.
right? It just
Yeah.
doesn't happen. Um, any other quick surprises off the top of your head there? I know we're kind of real early, of course, but anything else in
Um,
particular?
I mean, we mentioned the Wings earlier in the pod, but 5-1 is
Hmm.
a very good start for them, especially again, another team that people had maybe,
Beat the
just
Leafs.
outside of a wild card.
Beat the
Yeah,
Leafs
twice.
twice.
Hmm.
Regulation, both games, no
Yep.
points against the Red Wings. That
Yeah.
goes a long way when it comes at the end of the year for tiebreakers and stuff like
Yep.
that too. Like, I don't know
100%.
how many more times the Leafs even play the Red Wings this year. Like two, three,
I think the divisions. I think they play four, two home, two
right?
away, maybe.
So
Yeah.
the least if it's four, the least the Leafs can do is split now, and that's not great,
Nope.
to say the least, right? I wanted to just mention one last thing here before I get your quick awards picks. Just kind of quickly think about that while we're doing this.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if teams are going to start to use more call ups, the younger kids or veterans in the AHL, like you pointed out earlier, just that with the increase in back to backs because we're in Olympic year. I'm interested to see just to try to reduce burnout and loss of production. I'm not
Hmm.
talking like Kawhi Leonard here. We're not keeping you on the lines just to rest you, just to do that. But
Yep.
I'm just curious, just a tidbit of thing, just to think about there is the amount of players that are getting games this year. There's a lot of in and outs. There's a lot of action on the front there. I'm interested to see like are they doing that in a sense of really dialing in their 23 roster, or are they just trying to give the opportunity to some players and say, hey, you know what? If you play and really produce, we'll be able to trade you. We'll be able to get you to a better spot type of thing. Right. I'm just interested to see because there's so many back to backs, how
Yeah.
it, like how coaches are going to, and GMs are going to implement the roster, knowing that you're going to have burnout. You're going to have a lot of guys playing a lot of hockey. And then you get your stars going to the Olympics. Like, just pray to God we don't have a John Tavares 2.0 from the Olympics this year. That's
Yeah. No
all I'm
thanks.
going to say.
No
Not
thanks.
necessarily strictly Canada, US, Sweden,
Everybody.
whatever. I don't want to see a big name player get
Yeah.
hurt at the
Go down.
Olympics this year because they were rushing it, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's just the only kind of thing that I wanted to, jump on there. Was there anything else in particular on, Olympics or anything in particular?
Well, it's exciting now that we know that they're coming back for 2026 and 2030.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives opportunity for players. I mean, McDavid's a prime example. Like, yes, they played in the Four Nations last year, but like these guys have not seen Olympic experience. Like they have none, and
Nope.
they've been in the league for 10
10
years.
years. McDavid,
So
2015 draft, 10
incredible.
years.
So
No.
these guys get to go to the Olympics and represent their country. Finally, it's been a long time. So like I'm super excited. I know we're gonna be in for one. There's some good teams
Mhm.
this year. Like Canada's not the clear favorite anymore.
No.
Just development in other countries have gotten so much better, and it's been right up beside Canada. So we're in for a good tournament.
I agree. And obviously with the Four Nations, I think they gave us something to chew on for a while. That obviously creates all those storylines to think that
Mhm.
the Olympics is going to be just as good, but I
Yep,
think a lot of people forget that the Olympics is double IHF, and if you fight, you're done.
yeah.
So
So
don't expect any fighting in the Olympics, but
nope.
it should still be rough and tough and incredible hockey, man. I mean, best on
Yeah,
best in hockey is arguably one of the best out there. To be honest, it
yep.
truly is. Like, there's a lot of individual sports that if you want to do best on best in, sweet. But like I said, team sport hockey is definitely one of the better ones for best on best, right? Um,
100%.
you had in the notes as well, and I'll let you just super quick on this one too before I ask you those awards there. But just 10 cents on the global expansion. You said we're playing it. They're doing the games in Sweden there.
Mhm.
We got
Mhm.
the Pens and Preds the 14th of November, I think, to the 16th. Just
Yeah.
cool to see the NHL just getting around to around the globe and really trying to get their expansion. Right, they really want to get more engagement across the world. How
Yep.
can they, draw more fans, excuse me, for teams or organization or the sport?
Mhm.
Um, that they hadn't before? How can they reach out to new people? It's just interesting. I mean, obviously, there's not all 32 get to do it, so there's a little bit of a disadvantage in that sense. You lose
Yeah.
your home games, you got to travel. But what do you think on these global games? Are you good about it, bad about it? The NFL has done an incredible job with it. Very different sports, I understand that. But what's your take on that?
No, I think it's fantastic. Like it really expands the market into the international waters, like you said, and even guys like Philip Forsberg and like Eric Carlson,
Carlson too,
they get
going
to go
home.
play
Yep.
home,
Yep.
right? So this
Yep.
is so awesome for them. They get to kind of play in front of their home crowd, and maybe there's family that can't get over to the United States or Canada, so this is an opportunity to see, a cousin or a son or any type of family relative to see them play live. So
Yeah.
I think it's
It
a great
means a lot for them,
opportunity.
right? Didn't
Yeah,
uh didn't the Leafs play not long ago in Sweden?
Tampa did.
Because the Leafs did as well too. Didn't Nylander score an overtime goal in Sweden?
Oh yeah, that was last year. Last year,
Right?
2 years ago,
Or two
maybe.
years ago,
Yeah,
something like that too. So I mean,
yeah.
like, you got to get your big country players to go as well too. And as you pointed out, Forsberg, very big name. Carlson has been and still is a very big name. So
Hmm.
I agree. I think it's good for the sport. I do like it. I just don't really like the scheduling. I don't like that it's an Olympic
Yeah,
year. It's already short enough, and now you're
yeah.
getting these guys to go do that. I'm not crazy about it, but
Hmm.
does it affect me? No. I'll still watch it the same way as I would, and
Yeah,
maybe not even watch it because it's Pittsburgh and Nashville, but we'll see. But yeah, I do like it, to be honest with you. It's nice to see that. I'd be interested to see if they want to go somewhere else. Obviously you're not really going to go to Russia, but Finland is always a big draw too. I think Czech Republic would be really cool for the NHL to go over to, like especially like Prague or something like that. I think that that's still a good opportunity as well because hockey is still big over there as well too. So
100%.
yeah, it's just nice to kind of put a little note to that there and just
Hmm.
give the NHL their credit when it's due on that because they've proven that it can work and hopefully it continues to grow and we get some more star players coming out of these countries as well too, right?
100%.
Um, you want to give me your award picks?
Let's
I guess I
go.
can do. We did Art Ross, Rocket, Vesna, Calder. I think we stopped at that.
All right,
Give me those.
just give me one at a time. You tell me the
So
trophy.
let's do Art Ross.
Um, I got McKinnon. I think McKinnon's gonna. He's so explosive. Still, I was watching highlights yesterday, and that guy, and he's determined to win. He's got the same mindset as
Yeah,
Sid, and I
yeah,
just think he's just gonna just explode.
yeah. I agree, and I think if I recall correctly, I do. I think I picked McKinnon
Oh,
as
did you?
well.
Okay.
Who's your Rocket?
Hmm. That's a good question. I mean,
Shane
it's
Pinto.
hard. Yeah, Pinto. He's locked in for 60
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year. Um. Hmm. I mean, it's hard not to say Matthews, but I might go right off the board. And just the way he started the year, this might be the stupidest pick ever, but I'm gonna go Mark Scheifele. He's had a very good. It's very off the board. But I watched a few games and he's looked phenomenal, and he's ripping the puck. I have him in fantasy, and he's scored like almost every game.
Clip it.
So clip it, yeah, clip it for both. It's gonna be
Okay,
really
okay.
stupid or really good.
Vesna.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Shesterkin. I think the Rangers will start to kind of flip around, but he seems like the goalie right now that's dominant
He's dialed
despite
in.
looking.
He's dialed in right now. That's for sure. The unfortunate thing is, like we say, and they just have tough time scoring.
Yeah.
And then Calder. This is a good one. I like the Calder this
Yes,
year.
I got it last year with Lane Hudson. This is the only one of the only ones I got. So I'm down to three right now. My three are right now is Ryan Leonard from
Mm-hmm.
Washington,
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Schaefer from the Islanders, and then Ivan Demidov from
Yeah.
Montreal.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I went with Leonard as well. I think he's in a good chance to really jump into a top six there, and I think he's played a lot of games that already give him a chance to playing with
mhm.
men, and obviously He's played a extremely high level in his college career, and he's always produced in the World Juniors and at Worlds too.
Yeah.
And I had Savoy too, but Savoy hasn't had a great start to the season, much like the Oilers have. I think they're really trying to figure out their top six right now. I think losing Kane is a little bit more of an effect than they had, but they still don't have Hyman. So that's really
Yeah.
screwing with their top six right now because they got to play Savoy and Howard right now, and having the two rookies in the lineup is not a recipe for success for them right now.
So I'll lock in with Matthew Schaefer as my
Love it.
Calder pick.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to wrap for today, dude.
Yeah.
Back onto it, like I said, getting into the season. I would like to kind of touch base when we get into next week, now that we sort of are into American Thanksgiving or close to. By the end of that is generally when most teams will have an understanding of how the rest of their season looks. So
Yeah.
we'll get into that and go from there. But
One last thing.
Yeah.
Let's go Blue Jays.
Let's go
Big
Bluebirds.
game.
That's right.
Big game tonight.
We got a big game 6 tonight. We win tonight. We win game 7. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the Mariners got one chance to win and go to the show. Otherwise, if Jays win tonight, I think they win as well game 7. So let's go Blue Jays. Give me that JNPB like Vladdy. Placata, baby. Placata.
Yes.
Thank you for joining, big man. I will
Yes.
chat with you soon. We'll get some
Yep.
other stuff going here in the next couple of weeks. It's been another edition of Soft Dump in the Corner podcast, presented as always by North 6 Sports. As usual, please give us a like, follow, subscribe. It always helps. Comment. Let us know what you want to hear and what you want to talk about. We always appreciate the support. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time.
Rock.
All right. That's going to get edited out. Boom.